30 years, brother. I love this old lake. We're going right or left. Hey, today I'm gonna be headed back to a part of the country that I love, a lake I hadn't been on in years and years and years. Santee Cooper, man, sacred ground. That is where I did my very first episode of Hank Parker's Outdoor Magazine over 30 years ago. What a special lake.
Still 7 foot.
And I'm going down and hook up with a buddy of mine, Marc Deschenes. Oh, he has won so many tournaments. He's got a little technique, and we're going to show you what that is today on the show. Marc's a great guy. We go back a ways, and I'm really excited about going to Santee and hooking up with him. So you stay with me. I'm Hank Parker. Riding along the automobile.
I don't know that.
Oh, you don't? That's the only words I know. That's the only words I know to that song. I've been singing it for 15 years on television. Yeah. Everybody says I'm waiting on the next verse. I don't know it.
Uh-oh, that was him. That was him right there, Hank. That was him. Good shot.
Needed about 2 more inches. Hey, Santee Cooper, man, what a fabulous body of water. You've got the upper Lake Marion and the lower Lake Moultrie. Now, I have never really been a Moultrie guy. I fished Lake Moultrie a handful of times, but I've always been an upper lake guy. Lake Marion, I grew up, I cut my teeth in the very upper end of Lake Marion. So I'm pretty excited about getting to learn a little bit more about the lower lake, the diversion canal, and the lower part of the upper lake. So I'm fishing with Marc Deschenes, who has got an incredible reputation. He wins a lot of tournaments there.
It's time to get bit, fellas. It's time to get bit.
He's got a whole method of the way he puts in trees and plant structure, and the way he fishes structure, and the way he marks structure. So it's an interesting show to figure out how this guy catches all these fish and wins all these tournaments by the way he positions a boat. I didn't want to cover up my blue Florida shirt.
You always get something colorful on. Always.
The bait of choice was spinnerbait. And that suited me fine because I got to throw my new spinnerbait. And I like that. I actually let him throw a couple of my spinnerbaits.
I do like the spinnerbait. I like the way they got this thing. That is perfecto.
But big spinnerbaits is what he likes. And he takes the GPS coordinates.
Hey, you got a little sunscreen on?
And he marks these fish. He also has reference points that he visually marks. I could tell you a little bit more about how he goes about doing this, but he told me if I did, he would definitely kill me. So I don't want to die, and I don't want to tell you any more than he's comfortable with me telling you. It was very gracious that he let us go and showed us exactly what he was doing. But I didn't stay with his little spinnerbait deal too long, and I picked up a lipless pawpaw crankbait and caught one. I think he's a big one.
He's pulling though, isn't he, Harry?
He's pulling. So I stuck with that a little while, and then he started putting it on me with the spinnerbait.
Nice.
But it's all about lining up on the structure to have the boat right, get the right lure presentation, and to make contact with this structure. Long time.
Been how many years, Hank?
Back in the 70s. I don't know why he's pulling so. He don't weigh but about 4 pounds.
Nice fish.
He pulled like he was bigger.
Come here, big boy.
Pulling like a toad.
Oh, yeah. Nice fish, Hank.
Huh?
Good timing fish.
He ain't near as big as I thought he was. I thought he was a toad.
Nice.
That's my first bass out of Santee Cooper since probably 1978 or 9.
Nice, nice.
Isn't that great?
Yes, sir. Watch, I wouldn't let me tell your age. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm almost 40 years old. I started fishing when I was 6 weeks. I think I was 6 weeks old when I was down here.
Were you really? Beautiful.
6 or 7. Caught one. My God.
Nice. Nice.
Caught him on the old pawpaw lure. That's called a pawpaw.
Pawpaw. How old is that lure, Hank?
That lure is about 3 weeks old. Old pawpaw. I named this bait pawpaw because my son Ben gave me one of these baits. He said, try it and see what you think. The only one I had, and I took my grandson and I started throwing it, and I mean, I was hammering them. He said, Papa, let me have one of those. And I said, I don't have another one. The only one I got. And I said, I'm just trying it out. I'll let you fish with it in a minute. Every time I catch one, he'd say, paw, paw. Now this is a nice place right here, but it's nowhere near as nice as Black's Camp. If I come down here, I'm gonna stay at Black's Camp.
Yeah, I agree.
We're fishing out of Black's Fish Camp. I love that, fish camp. That's neat. It goes back, Black's is set up like 50 years ago, 40 years ago. Now it's modernized, way upgraded from that. And it's a very clean, great facility. It's really cool.
Did you hear that? He said if he's coming anywhere on Santee Cooper, he's coming to Black's Fish Camp because of the great guide service they have.
All these are my melts in here. I caught all these fish.
And the great food they have.
We didn't catch that.
I don't believe that.
Woo-wee!
But Black's Fish Camp is at the very end of the diversion canal, which hooks the two lakes together, Lake Marion and Lake Moultrie.
Did he hit that trap?
Paw. So we started out fishing at the end of the canal in Lake Moultrie. Then we started fishing in Lake Marion, which I was a little more familiar with, but that's the first time that I'd spent any time at Black's Fish Camp, and it was a really cool place to hang out. Hey man, I got me a guide. We're going from place to place at Santee. The bite's slow, but we're where it should be happening. We're fishing offshore structure, stumps, brush piles, underwater cypress knees, all kinds of structure out off of the spawning flats, and here we are middle of May. Should be happening, but we're in that transition. You were catching them last week.
Yes, sir.
A lot shallower. So we hadn't been able to put it together, but we're just pecking along like trying to get the corners of the puzzle put together. We get that done, we'll figure it out. Keep digging, brother, keep digging.
There you go.
Hank's Show is brought to you in part by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. And by Pennzoil and Hobie.
Mercury engine test.
Toughness you can rely on. It's good to have Mercury behind you.
Mercury engine test.
Lightweight power you can rely on. It's good to have Mercury behind you.
It's here. A full synthetic that starts pure. Born from natural gas. It's the next revolution in synthetics. Pennzoil Platinum with Pure Plus technology. Motor oil, reimagined.
Hobie's Mirage Drive kayaks set the standard for fun on the water. Whether your passion is fishing, sailing, or recreational adventure, Hobie's got a kayak for you. Hobie's Mirage Drive mimics nature's proven designs for efficient and powerful propulsion and enhances your kayaking experience. Mirage Power, Mirage Performance, Mirage Drive. Hobie, enjoy the ride.
The Luge Tournament Pro G is all about performance. G is for new generation, where everything is lighter, faster, stronger. 6.2 ounces light, with a no-flex one-piece aluminum frame, 11 premium double-shielded stainless bearings, and external adjust speed cast centrifugal braking, plus a patent-pending Speed Keeper hook keeper that's built in, and speed dial line indicator to remind you of what line and weight you've spooled. It's all in the new Lose Tournament Pro G. You will feel the difference.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Now it's time for Hank's Tip of the Day.
Let me tell you, technology is somewhat overwhelming to a 60-year-old man. But if you kind of give in to it and embrace it, it is a gigantic benefit. We got some new maps, Lake Master, that's incredible. Now, all it is a little chip. You put in your, I've got the Humminbird Onyx 10 here, and you just take this little chip and put it in the slot, close it up, Lake Master will come on your screen. Now I have simulating mode set up on both units. I have a map over here, and I like to go to side imaging, down imaging, and 2D sonar, and that's what I have here. Let me tell you why I like to do that. If I'm coming in over here on my map, and I know I want to fish this point, I don't want to idle back and forth. I don't want to go back and forth in my boat and find the sweet spot on this point. Well, with my map chip, I can know exactly where that sweet spot is by just looking at my map and never have to idle back and forth to mark it. I can pull up and be in casting position right off the bat just by using my map and my side image and my down image. It is the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my life. It is amazing. I went to Lake Wiley the other day, a lake that I'm very familiar with, and just used my maps. Not one time did I ever idle over the place that I was gonna fish, and I had it hit it perfect every time. Just going off of my Lake Master map chip on Lake Wiley in South Carolina, North Carolina, right on the border, by using technology. It's incredible. Lake Master, by the way, is absolutely the most awesome technology, along with the Humminbird Onyx, that I've ever used. It's amazing what it'll do to help you catch fish.
Hank, this is what we're gonna do.
All right.
We've been fishing all these depressions right outside these blackwater ponds. I'm gonna go on the edge of the channel now. The bank's up to about 20 foot of water and goes quick. I got about 5 spots like that. We're gonna see if they're closer to the river channel.
All right, I like that.
Good fish. Big fish.
Big old fish. Not too big. Why they fool us? Need help?
Well, he ate that spinnerbait. You hear what I'm telling you? You ain't gonna believe what it is.
Huh?
You ain't gonna believe jackbait.
Jack Crevalle.
No.
We wanted to catch a jack. Let's see us jack. Come on.
Just a big jack.
We've been wanting to catch a big jack all day.
Big jack.
Hey, we've been wanting to catch him all day.
Ooh, put the death grip on him, Hank.
He's gonna tear our little tail up, ain't nothing we can do about it. Look at it, he got it. That's all he wanted, and now he's happy.
He wanted.
He's happy and he's gone. Oh, Jack, man.
Boy, I thought that was.
You got a new nickname.
Call me Jackbite King.
Jack Man. Jack Man.
Jackbite King. Uh-oh. Kevin, he's got you now. He's got something for me.
Kevin don't exist. He's in the camera boat. Camera boat don't exist. This is all TV.
That's right.
Sorry, folks. They don't know better. Bunch of rookies. Video my cameraman up there is causing all the problems. Turn around and look at that camera. Turn around and look at that camera. Right there is the problem. Hey, I'm talking. Hey, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Don't you look at me in that tone of voice.
I love it. Love it.
Look at that camera right there and tell them we're going on a commercial break where I can straighten you out. Yeah, look right there. Tell them. I am going to straighten you out. Tell them.
We're going to a commercial break so he can straighten me out.
Now we got it.
Mercy.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Berkeley. Catch more fish. Yeti Coolers, built for the wild. And by Plano, Humminbird. And by Fraybill.
You can walk through these woods, and if you go slowly and are observant, you see things and find things that are unbelievable. Other people are visiting a place that's exciting or dangerous or mysterious or cold or hot or wet or dry. I don't care. That's just where I'm supposed to be.
From bass and walleye to crappie and the great outdoors, no one has ever built aluminum boats like these from Ranger. They're packed with standard features. The ride is super smooth, they're whisper quiet and incredibly stable. Check out the difference in quality, performance, and room in a Ranger aluminum design. America's fastest growing aluminum line. No matter what you're after on the water, these rigs are engineered to excel and priced to be yours.
We've made our name helping anglers unlock the water's hidden secrets. Hit the switch. It's time to reveal even more. AutoChart Live gives you the power to build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Because when you know the unknown, you can do the unheard of. AutoChart Live, only with Onyx, only from Humminbird.
This portion of Hank's Show is brought to you by Plano's A-Series Quick Top Tackle Bag. Maximize your efficiency on the water. Plano, protect your passion.
Wow.
No, he's not a good one, but he's a bass.
On the brush.
On the brush.
There you go.
He's a bass. He's a bass. Oh, it came off. You know, Santee's got so much history. Santee was the first lake to have landlocked striped bass. When they were working on part of the lake, they were opening and closing the locks, and it was in the spring and the spawning season for the stripers, and they actually would come up and they locked them in. Nobody ever heard of a striped bass. That's a saltwater fish being in a freshwater lake. Well, that's where it all started. Stripers all got started for freshwater lakes at Santee Cooper. Santee Cooper was one of the greatest bass lakes in the early 60s, 70s, and 80s. Santee Cooper became world renowned for gigantic catfish, and Santee Cooper has had the world record crappie or crappie for years and years, one of the greatest crappie fishing places in the entire world. But Santee is a great place, and it is beautiful. It is one of the prettiest lakes in the whole wide world. Prettiest two lakes in the whole wide world.
Last cast, we're going on the next one.
Do you pull up and catch 2 or 3 off a brush a lot?
Usually, like on a lineup right here, I got 12 brush piles.
Yeah.
This is usually good for 2, and then I got to go to another lineup. If I was in a tournament today, I'd be a hurting puppy right now.
Marc caught 21 pounds day before yesterday in a tournament and finished second, 21.91. All right, you go ahead.
Yeah.
And how many tournaments you fished this year?
14 so far.
14, and you've weighed in over 20 pounds?
The last 5 of them, and we're doing exactly what we're doing today. Let's go around to the front side. I can't hardly see none of my ribbons at all.
Last 5 tournaments, he's weighed in over 20 pounds fishing these lines of brush that you line up. He's got a tree here, something you can correlate with, a power line in the background, a ribbon tied to a stump. Wasn't a fish, boy, it felt good. Pretty close, or I missed it?
Duck box.
duck box, whatever. And just spinnerbait's an awesome bait for this. And so Marc says the best spot's yet to come.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yellow water anchor.
I like it, folks. I like it.
Boat position is so critical, and the right presentation with the lure is critical.
Yeah, see the two cypress trees? I'm fixing to line up with one right behind it.
So all of that's playing into what Marc does.
Nice one.
Good one. It is so important to have the boat right, get the right lure presentation, and to make contact with this structure. And it paid off. His method of madness works, and it was very impressive to be a part of that.
Oh, Uncle Hank! Uncle Hank! Nice, nice.
You know, when I fished Santee for years and years and years, a 5-foot rod with a pistol grip handle thrown up underneath those cypress trees and being able to get up in that swamp. So I envisioned all this before I went, and that wasn't the way it was at all. Man, it was open water, and you had to have a good 7.5-foot, very stiff rod and be able to set the hook, making those long casts staying in that structure. So I enjoyed that part of it. I had a custom speed stick, 7 foot 6 inches or 7 foot 4 inches, and very, very, very stiff, heavy rod. And the old Hank Parker new spinnerbait and some 20-pound test, Trilene XT. So it was all right up my alley. I liked that. It was fun. I thought he is a good one. Nice. He ain't as big as I thought he was.
Nice. Oh, yeah, Hank. That's
How
what I'm
about
talking
that?
about. Nice.
I thought he was a toad. He had me in that brush.
Oh.
Hank's Show is made possible in part by Luz. Feel the difference. Sunsect, insect repellent plus sunscreen combined into one great product. And by Minn Kota. And Talon. Looking for more bass fishing tips and techniques from legendary angler Hank Parker? Go to hankparker.com. You'll have full access to all things Hank, including articles, videos, sponsor news, tips, television schedules, and much more.
Line her up and knock her out.
2 weeks ago, I put some rush and I lined it up.
I tell you, Santee Cooper country, this is a very special place. From the time I was a kid and saw the Santee structure book with these cypress trees and a guy holding about an 8-pound bass, I was about 6 or 7, 8 years old when I saw it the first time, about 13 when I started fantasizing about coming to Santee Cooper. And I had all these expectations, but when I got here, it exceeded everything that I'd ever expected. Miles and acres of just incredible habitat. And this place, I've had a love affair with Santee Cooper since about 1972. I came down fishing with my buddy Randy Horn. And you know, I'd like to dedicate this show to Randy Horn. I miss him. He was one of the best fishermen I ever fished with in my life. Randy passed away. I was at Paul Barroney's funeral. Been many, many years back, but the last time I came to this lake, I went fishing with Randy.
You told me that.
What a great guy was he, and he showed me so much, and I learned so much, and I have just loved this lake. So running down the canal and riding and looking and bringing back all the memories, this has just been a special trip for me, and man, you have made it more than special.
Hey,
man, I appreciate it, Marc. It's been awesome.
One of a kind, buddy.
Well, what a place is this Santee Cooper, and I'm gonna finish the shout out to Santee Cooper country and all the people that have worked so hard, you included, to preserve this incredible fishery. It's one of the most pristine places in all of America, and it is just a thrill to be back on Santee Cooper. Well, I'd like to thank Mark. He put it on me today, showed me a few little tricks that I didn't know.
I'm not even gonna lip him.
I hope you don't. Very, very, very well organized, laid out, knows what he's doing guy. It was fun. And Santee, it was so cool to be back on that body of water. The smell, the cypress trees, the canals, the lower lake, the upper lake. Man, what a treat that was for me. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless you. I'm Hank Parker. See you next week.
And don't forget to visit us at hankparker.com, the place for tips, giveaways, and more.
The house needs painting, the grass needs mowing. Where's he at? Gone fishing.